Welcome. Welcome to Rich's Reframes and Dialogue with the Devil. I'm Richard Friesen, and I have a story to tell you about Halloween night. It was October 31st. We had given trick-or-treaters to the kids, and with COVID, that meant, putting things on a stick and handing to them. It was not very good. But then I watched the news and it was all terrible. And I went to bed just feeling the weight of all the pain and suffering that everybody in the world experiences. And I thought, people are good. People are so good, and yet there's so much suffering. It has to be something demonic. It has to be the devil that creates it. I woke up, I woke my wife, and I said, it's the devil, it's the devil. It's the devil making all the misery in the world. She looked at me and says, honey, take a breath. Take another breath. We don't want another California 5150, do we? No, oh boy, we didn't want that. You can Google it if you don't know what that is. Oh my gosh. So I pretended to go back to sleep, but I tossed and turned. The next day I was at my desk. I was writing at my book, and all of a sudden I felt this cold chill. I mean, really cold chill, like the room just dropped 20 degrees. I started to shiver, and I felt this presence, and I turned around, and there was this guy sitting in my guest chair. He had kind of a grayish complexion, and he wore these kind of strange goggles and glasses, and he didn't have any hair on his head or his face or anything, and he had these big eyes through the goggles. And I said, oh my God, how'd you get in here? Because I didn't hear a thing. I mean, I didn't hear anybody come in. And he says, I just arrived. Hi. You made a statement the other night that people are good and all the suffering in the world is caused by the devil? Oh my God. I said, how did you know that? He chuckled. He says, held out his hand, but with COVID, of course, I didn't shake it. He says, hi, I'm Wormwood. I'm one of the devil's top guys. I manage all the demons on the earth. I thought, oh my God, the name Wormwood. It struck a bell somewhere, but I couldn't quite think of it. I said, what are you doing here? And he says, well, I am friggin' awesome. I am so awesome that I want somebody to write my legacy. I said, why me? He said, well, you're an author. You're writing a book, aren't you? Well, yeah, but I'm writing a book on, he said, doesn't matter. I want you to take notes. And when I'm gone, I want everyone to know what I have accomplished. I mean, the massive amounts of suffering in the world that I have created. I says, when you're gone, I mean, you're a devil or a demon or something. What? Wait a minute. I am not the devil, he said. I'm just his top guy who manages the demons. And I says, wait a minute, don't you live forever? Well, I used to work for this top demon manager guy, Screwtape. I couldn't remember. Screwtape. Anyway, he said, I tricked him into doing something nice once. And the devil was so furious that he threw him into hell for eternity. So here I am. And he says, I've always got to watch my back because those demons, they just have no sense of loyalty. And they're just as mean as all get out. And one of them may trick me. So I have to be really careful. But before I go, or if I go, I want you to record all the amazing things I've done. The amazing things you've done. I mean, creating misery, that's amazing. Oh, yeah. And it ain't easy because, like you said, people are good and it's really a lot of work. Well, Well, I was terrified, but at the same time, I was really curious. I mean, a guy just evaporated into my room. I mean, this might be the opportunity of a lifetime to have a bestseller. So he says, well, how do you keep misery? Well, we expand racism. How do you do that? I'll tell you later. We keep the genders at odds. Well, genders at odds? You mean, yeah, fighting, divorce, making men terrible, all that stuff. Well, how do you do that? He said, I'll tell you, but in good time. We maintain and we grow belief systems that just are horrid for people, but they believe them anyway. It's like, you ever heard of the Salem witch trials? That was me. We keep people fearful. My God, when they're fearful, they're so easy to manipulate. We also disguise ourselves as righteous. Righteous people, he said. Well, who do you disguise yourself as? That'll come, but you're too eager. What else do you do? Well, he said, economic and political systems. We know the ones from a long time that keep people just friggin' horribly miserable. We can create so much pain and suffering with very little effort if we just encourage the certain political and economic systems. Wow. And why do you do this? We manufacture misery. And I am so good. You look at the world and you see the misery. Oh my God. And I want to take credit for it. He says, wait a minute. Won't the devil be a little upset at you for, making all his secret plans and how he does things, making them public so people can catch them? He said, it doesn't matter. Humans are so manipulatable. We can make them do anything. We can tell them the devil is doing this and not to do it. He says, it doesn't matter. They'll do it anyway. Well, when are we going to have these discussions? He says, I'll come and we'll talk about all of these things. Whew. So anyway, before, I write the book, I'm going to let you in on the secret ways that the devil does diabolic work in the world. And your guys are going to be the very first to know about it. So welcome. Welcome to Rich's Reframes and Dialogue with